Hey everyone, welcome to the Good Game Geeks podcast. I'm your host Brutus, and I'm joined as always by my kick-ass co-host Snooze. Tonight on our fifth podcast, we're going to be playing some Overwatch. This game has been something that's played a lot in our little community lately, so we're going to jump into it since it's going on its first anniversary next week. As always, we're going to be playing a game while covering a lot of various gaming-related topics, and let's be honest, probably some non-gaming related topics as well. But first, I do want to talk a little bit about the game at hand.
I think we should.
It is a game that was released about a year ago, I believe May 24th, to pretty much universal acclaim. I mean, it got 10s out of 10s on multiple review sites, 100s out of 100s, 5 out of 5s. Whatever review score you want to use, it pretty much nailed it across the board. Blizzard dove right into a genre that everyone kind of got sick of. I mean, shooters for a while had grown a little bit stale. Snooze, I don't know how you had been feeling about the yearly Call of Duty releases, just kind of rehashing the same mechanics over and over.
I think we kind of covered that in last podcast.
I'm pretty sure we beat a horse to death and then backed over it with a truck,
pretty much.
Right?
So they were getting pretty repetitive and pretty generic shooters, and I think everyone's just in the shooters need to reinvent themselves struggle right now. So Overwatch was definitely was a blessing for the genre.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's simple. It's down to really one mechanic, right? You escort, you eliminate, you escort further, and you try to blow up the enemy base. It's just a very simple game based on the one mechanic. It doesn't need 85 different game modes to play, and they have added little by little throughout, but it is a very simple shooter that they just made with fun in mind. The entire thing is just fun.
And I think what's cool about it is they took what makes the game so balanced and makes it more fun than other shooters is that it's not, the players don't make their own classes. It's pre-made classes with pre-decided abilities that you can't swap out for different abilities. So it's an even playing field, and it makes it much more fun, much more easy to jump into, and much more easy to come back to after having stopped played for a few months, which is actually pretty cool. And that's one thing I like about Overwatch. And I mean, not to mention the cast of characters are, one, super hot, two, super amazing, colorful, and very unique, distinct abilities. You can't say that there's two characters that are much alike, because they're each really are their own character. So that's really cool. That's what I like.
Now, you say super hot, but I am staring at Roadhog's naked big gut, and I don't know about that whole hot aspect at all.
Oh, that's not what the stream is staring at. The stream is staring at Widowmaker with, like, the slit down, a Jennifer Lopez dress going on.
Yes, perfect.
Just to reinforce my point, and not yours.
Fair enough. I mean, hey, Dad bod is Roadhog all over and then some, right? So I know everyone's all about that dad bod lately.
That's true. Roadhog is my main, though, if we're talking about Roadhog. I have a really insane hook accuracy. I think I have over 50% hook accuracy with my Roadhog. Nice. He's my ranked main. Like, he's the guy that I go for.
So on that note of just being incredible with this game, I want you all to know we are actually certified Overwatch professionals. We're going to show you the perfect way to play this game. And if you're doing it any other way, you're probably doing it wrong. Let's be honest.
Or the exact opposite of everything Brutus just said. Full disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm going to be terrible. So I hope you guys can enjoy this. And that's why we're going to talk about stuff that's interesting versus watching me just suck up the joint.
True.
Got it.
So, yeah, like, as we were saying, guys...
Professionals.
Oh, this is great. This
100%.
Is great. Totally. All right. So...
After, recovering from that a little bit, we're going to prepare our defenses. But Snooze, lately, other than Overwatch, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a lot of Enter the Gungeon. I recently picked that up since the last time that we spoke. It is a great little roguelike game. I think you were going to bring up a little roguelike as well, so I will go first.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So can't wait to get into that one. But Enter the Gungeon is, it's another roguelike. Came out on PC, I want to say about a year ago. I could be completely wrong. Should have looked into it a little more. However, it just came out on Xbox One not too long ago. It'd been on PS4 before that as well. It's so much fun. It is so much fun. It's so chaotic. I also find it more difficult than other roguelikes that I have spent way too much time playing, which we will name shortly. But it's very different, and I mean, for those who don't know what the principle of roguelikes are, it's a differently generated dungeon each time. You have a bunch of different loot, a bunch of different drops, a bunch of different items that you can use to build up your character to ultimately get to the final boss. So, and the principle behind Gungeon is just hilarious in itself. For one, it's a bunch of different guns that have been inspired from different things in pop culture, previous video games. I mean, you have the gun from Duck Game in there, which is pretty cool. You have the proton gun basically from Ghostbusters in there as well.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
You have so many little unique guns like that all throughout the game, which is just such a hoot. Such a total hoot. And the goal is basically to find, I believe, the gun that can save us from the past or something like that. I'm completely butchering it. But the whole concept is just really funny, and it's a bunch of fun. Dodge rolls are super important. Guys, get your dodge rolls on. And it's really hard. It's super, super hard. Compared to other roguelikes I've played, they each have their own levels of difficulty, and they're different challenges in the game. But this one, just the bullet spam that you get on your screen is very impressive and very difficult to survive through.
It's one of those, like, quote, bullet hell games.
It is the biggest bullet hell game you will probably play. At least nowadays. That's for sure.
Nice.
But I definitely recommend picking it up. I think it's about $15, which is a really decent price nowadays for games. So if you guys have a chance to pick it up, let me know what you think. I'm really enjoying it so far. Can't make it past the 3rd level. But, practice makes perfect. That's the great thing about these games. Practice makes perfect, so you just keep going back to them. So yeah, I finished Yooka-Laylee, been playing Gungeon, and I'm about to start Bulletstorm, which I'm pretty excited to play as well.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. What about yourself?
So, you mentioned roguelikes. Not a genre that I've played a ton of. I like them, but I don't generally spend a lot of time with a game that purposely tries to frustrate me. And the Binding of Isaac really likes to try to frustrate me. I bought it a while back. I have the Rebirth. I don't have I believe Afterbirth is the newest one that came out. Is that right?
Well, Afterbirth is the latest kind of expansion on the game, if you will, but they recently came out with an Afterbirth Plus, which is
interesting.
Kind of extra items on the latest expansion. So there's a lot going on there.
Gotcha. So I have the Binding of Isaac with Rebirth.
Okay.
Playing through it, and for the first time, I can see, and I knew the game was hard. I saw while watching you stream it, I knew that game was difficult. That game is punishing at times. It is absolutely punishing. Playing through it and trying to find the right power-ups for the right situations and trying to kind of know what's coming, even though the levels are procedurally generated, just like you said with Gungeon. It's definitely a challenge, but it's been a lot of fun. I really find myself going back to it, and it's kind of that addicting type of challenge without it being too difficult to where you're just writing it off. And it's something that I find myself going back to quite often. Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of Isaac.
Addiction is definitely a good word to describe those types of games.
Yes.
And I think the reason why they're so addicting, I'm saying this because I think Binding of Isaac is definitely one of my most played games alongside Destiny in the last few years. Really enjoying it. Keep going back to it because of that addicting factor.
Yeah, totally.
But I mean, the randomly generated dungeon each time is very cool, and it's challenging. And we don't get too many games that are constantly challenging. That's what's very cool. You get a lot of games that, like, it's difficult in the beginning, but once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. Obviously, you get the hang of this game as well at some point, but it's still always challenging. You just have more practice.
Absolutely. And it's procedurally generated to a point, right? So there is a challenge, but you kind of know, like, Monstro is going to come early on. He's not going to be this end game boss. So you can kind of plan around it and work your way up to it. You kind of know what's coming as you play, but it's still that elevated level of challenge as you progress throughout, while still having the element of randomness as well.
And you do have an idea at a certain point, like what you need to have as a general build to be able to defeat Mom. Like, you know that if you only have 1 on your damage bar, like, you're not defeating Mom.
Yep.
Like, you know what kind of pickups you need to aim for. And it's just so much fun because it's different every single time you play it, unless you play the same seed over and over again. But even then, I mean, you can make each playthrough different, and what's cool is you can also choose the pickups throughout your playthrough that kind of fit your play style. Like if you prefer a charge attack versus if you prefer just like a straight bullet hell attack.
Right.
If you manage to find out how to kind of customize your build according to the randomness, then you're really golden. But it's made to be more difficult and discouraging in the beginning because the more you play, the more you unlock items.
This is true.
To pick up. So it's made to be fucking impossible in the beginning. It is. If you pass the first boss, like in your first playthroughs, honestly, like, I'm clapping. That's awesome. That's it's really just one level at a time, and each time you're going to unlock more items that are going to help you get further. So it does have that kind of grind element to it, which I love.
Yeah. But I also like that it's very little progression. I mean, it is a true roguelike in that when you die, it's over. Like, that's it. You start over and go from there.
Yeah, exactly. No saving, like emergency closing the console to reboot it and be back where you were.
Right.
Like, you're kind of screwed.
So there's that feeling of when you do beat it, a true sense of accomplishment, which I really enjoy too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a sense of accomplishment that I can imagine a game like Dark Souls giving you, because it's so difficult and stuff like that. And I'm getting the same satisfaction from Gungeon. Like when I beat level 3, I am super happy with myself. I'm like glowing.
Now we're just foreshadowing a lot of stuff coming up later, but you mentioned Dark Souls, so if you're a fan of that game, stay tuned. We might have some news for you later on. But in addition to Isaac, I've also been jumping into the Gwent closed beta. I've had a beta invite for some time and just kind of started jumping into it because I loved Gwent in The Witcher. I absolutely loved the hell out of it. I was from day one of the people saying, give us a standalone Gwent game, please, because I knew that would be something that I would be all about. As kind of a strategy nut, real-time strategy games, card games, any game requiring a certain level of strategy and outthinking of your opponent, I get attracted to. Yeah. And Gwent is a lot like that. There's a whole lot more strategy than just that base layer, get a higher total than your opponent at first glance. So it's been something that I've loved.
Yeah, I've also gotten into the beta, and one thing that I really appreciate about Gwent, and the reason why I liked it in the game as well, for the little that I played the game, I know, keep on hating, guys. I'm sorry I didn't stream more of it. Still getting the hate to this day. But one thing I really liked about Gwent is because it has a different layer of strategy that not too many other card games offer you. Like Magic doesn't offer that. Hearthstone doesn't offer that right now, which are some of the big ones out there. Is just the strategy of having one hand for all the rounds that you play.
And one of the strategies being that a viable strategy in the game is to purposely throw around.
Yeah, and that's hard.
Yeah.
It's a difficult strategy to take, like to throw a first round. Yep. Or to just lay everything that you have. The worst, I find it's more penalizing mentally to just try and win that first round, but by giving it every single card you got. Because then it's just RNG.
Yep.
For the rest of the draws.
Absolutely.
So that's difficult.
So it's been out. The closed beta's been out for, gosh, I want to say 4 months at this point, maybe longer.
More than that. I think it's been out since 2016 at least. So I think we're at least a solid 6 months in, if not more. Okay, so on that note, they've been running it for some time. The open beta, guys, starts next week, May 24th. It's going public. So a lot of those of you who have been hoping for your invite, maybe haven't gotten it, or just maybe have been waiting for it to get a little bit more polished or what have you. It is going open and live next week. So look forward to seeing a lot of you guys playing it. May 24th. Yep. And now, as of right now, there is no private match function, if I remember correctly, right? Sadly, because we wanted to play that on one of these podcasts. And then right before we started, we realized, I can't invite you. Yes. Change of plans. That was going to be a struggle. So something I'm hoping that they're going to add, because I think private matches with your friends are just going to be fun. Yeah. Much as they are in Hearthstone or really any card game. Come on. So I don't think it is
something that's not going to happen. I think it's a guarantee. I think they just wanted to get the rest of the game polished before they went and looked at private matches.
Yeah.
So, but that's a game that I've been loving, working on getting my card collection up, because you start off with a fairly weak set of cards.
You do.
Absolutely. Let me shoot my ult out real quick.
That's okay. Cool. But going back to like what we discussed when we were playing Hearthstone, it is a free game, and I think it's going to remain a free game. So given that you know that, I mean, I naturally dropped about $30-40 on it from the get-go to get a good solid amount of cards going.
And the one thing I do love about it too is they said, any that you pay for during the beta, you are going to get back when it goes fully live as a full release. So that's exciting.
One thing I'm unsure about, I don't know if you know, because I really do not know, when the game moves from closed beta to open beta, are they resetting?
My understanding is that they are resetting full progress.
They are.
They're
okay.
going to refund. So if you purchased however much ore or whatever, or just card packs, you're going to just get those card packs, boom, just straight set into your account. Potentially new cards that you'll be getting, so you may not have the same set of cards, is my understanding of how they are doing it.
Okay. That makes sense. And I presume they're going to do the same when they go from open beta to full release.
Yeah, I would have to imagine.
Yeah, but if they're refunding, that's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, so because everything you spend on the game in terms of real currency, you are getting back.
Yeah.
Or at least re-getting certain things of that.
Yeah. Which is interesting. Do they normally open microtransactions for closed betas?
I guess it would depend game to game, right? I mean, I know of some that have. I'm blanking. I was just listening to actually the Giant Bomb podcast, another great podcast out there, and they were speaking on a game that was in beta that was also doing the same thing, had microtransactions up. I want to say it was Marvel Online that has been in beta for PC for quite some time.
Oh my god, I thought that was a full release game. That's still a beta game?
Yeah.
That's been like years. That's been like 2015 since that thing's been out, hasn't it?
It may be a console version of it then. There's something in there that it has been out for some time, but there's a port, or without having any sort of research, I'd just be guessing on it. Okay. But I'm pretty sure that was the game they were talking about, but some sort of progress is being reset. Okay. But they are refunding all purchases made in the game.
Yeah, that's always a touchy move, right? The resetting progress, because people have grinded like crazy. So it's always, you want to be careful because you don't want to piss people off. It's touchy.
Yep, and I think that they're between a rock and a hard place, because even if you're upfront about it and saying, hey, guys, this is a beta, this is progress that is going to be refunded for you, but it is not permanent, so any sort of progress that you make, just know that it is go away in some time. Even if they say that, they're going to get the outrage because internet, right? Like,
absolutely.
Nobody can stay calm on the internet.
That's why it's so touchy, because the internet is super dangerous, and you know how the internet can kill games.
Yes, which I think is a topic we've also discussed.
I think, wow, we're looping in on a lot of stuff, guys. It was all like thought of. Oh, Ark, absolutely. Yeah, Ark. Well, Ark doesn't have microtransactions, though. It has a DLC. It doesn't have microtransactions.
Right. So that's about what I've been playing in terms of overall games. As far as what I've been doing, I know a lot of you guys in our Discord community here that Snooze has seen a lot of the progress I've made on my Funko Tower.
Yeah.
Huge Funko Pop collector.
The Tower o' Funk.
The Tower o' Funk, indeed. Huge Funko Pop collector. I just counted yesterday. I got 127 overall Funko Pops. And for the first time, and this was a very, very difficult decision to make, I pulled them out of their boxes.
Oh my god, the collector's dilemma.
Yeah. Cannot believe it. But man, I do not regret my decision, because they are great. They are so cool out of their boxes. So I am a converted believer.
That's awesome. You gotta be proud of your decision. Stand by it.
Boxes. Hell yeah. It is something where I kind of got to not, they're not action figures, not play with them, but look closer at them, which you cannot do when they're in their box. So
that's true. And you always get this awkward reflection that really makes you want to open them, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. And I mean, I know Funko has stated, guys, we don't seal the boxes for a reason. We want them to come out of the boxes. They have gone on record and said that. But just as someone who has that collector's mentality of, I don't really know if I want to display these outside of a box, inside of a box, kind of that dilemma like you spoke to.
Yeah, exactly.
But something I would have never known, an example of like the well walker zombie from The Walking Dead, it's actually 2 pieces. It's really cool. So if you guys remember that scene where that big old bloated zombie they pull out of the well that kind of splits in half.
Oh, that was nasty.
Yeah, it was.
That was
really
gnarly, man.
Really gross. They actually have that pop in 2 pieces. It's super cool. They can sit on top of each other. You can display them separately. I thought that was awesome.
However you want to split the goopy grossness on display. It's amazing. How thoughtful.
Yeah, so it's great. There's just a lot of those small things. I mean, you guys know I'm a pop lover. So right now I'm staring at like my space genre. So I've got Commander Shepard sitting right between my C-3PO and a Stormtrooper.
Dude, right now you should be staring at Overwatch. Just saying.
I also am staring at Overwatch. It's right next to me. So it's right there. I mean, it might be why we're getting our ass kicked, right?
We're winning.
Are we? That's how little I am.
That's good. That's good.
Guys, professional. Yeah. Remember.
Funny.
Oh my gosh.
I have also purchased my fair share of pops. I don't have 127 because that would mean that I would realize that I spent over $1,000 on these little toys, and that would just make me sad.
Got some on sale.
Given that I have a vehicle to pay off.
I got some of them on sale.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Maybe a little less than $1,000 then. But I just recently bought the new Mass Effect ones.
Yeah, I saw.
The Archon Priest is huge.
Yeah, they have those 6-inch figures. They're massive.
It's my first big figure because I want to collect all of those. I need my Jaal because he's my baby. But yeah. I never realized how big the big ones were, and it's the first time that I actually get a big one. So yeah. I was impressed by the size. Then they're quite robust. I mean, they're intense.
Yeah. One of my favorites is the Big Daddy from BioShock.
Oh, that
He's like a 7-inch tall figure. It's massive.
For sure. I mean, it needs to be because if not, it doesn't represent it well.
Exactly.
And I like their thinking just on how they pick and choose which ones are big and which ones aren't. You know, like we were mentioning yesterday in my stream. I think someone mentioned the Game of Thrones, the one where Khaleesi is sitting on top of the dragon, right? That was cool.
Yeah. So Game of Thrones, actually, I do have, you might not be able to see, if you zoom in on camera, I guess you could see behind me, I actually have the Iron Throne, which is a 6-inch figure as well. It's super cool. Right now, Jon Snow is sitting on it because I do think that's how it's going to end.
Do you? Well, okay. I mean, I think that would be too good of an ending. I feel like it's not a series that ends well. You just know Cersei's going to be sitting on that bitch.
I feel like for all that he has done to just kill our spirit as viewers and readers of that story, he's got to end it well. He's got to give that to us after everything you've put us through.
Oh, lordy.
So we will see. I
think we're going to put spoiler alert in the title of this podcast.
Oh, we're getting there. Don't you worry. So, that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been playing. Let's talk about what's coming up.
Oh, yeah. I just want to mention first. Play the game. Yeah. That's it. Okay, we're good. Keep going.
Wait, did you just get play of the game?
I did.
Oh, damn. Let's watch that.
See how easy it is to split your brain into 3 guys? Right? Stream, play, podcast. Boom. Brah. Triple threat, ladies and gents. Okay.
Like we said, professional. But while she's over there, let me just kind of quickly see my stats, and I bet you I died a whole shitload more than I killed. But it's okay. We play to have fun.
That's true.
I killed 13 people. I died 16 times. Yep. Okay. There we go.
There you go. All right.
Professional.
25-15.
Yes. See, you made up. As a team, we're great.
We're amazing. We complement each other.
Yes, totally.
All right.
I suck and you bring me back up. So, as far as what is coming up, though, guys, Destiny 2. Just throw it out there. Holy crap. September 8th. That is 3.5 months. It is here. I am so excited.
Are you?
Oh, dude, I'm hyped. I am hyped. I've kept my thoughts to myself, but holy shit, I cannot. I was beaming watching that trailer. What did you think?
I unfortunately wasn't able to watch the gameplay reveal. I haven't watched a 1-hour gameplay reveal, but when we did watch the trailer on Friday for the first time, I did have some shivers. Mm-hmm. The hairs on my arm were on end. I will not lie. Yes. Very excited. Destiny is my most played game ever.
Wow.
Period. That's only because I don't play many MMOs, because I realized if I did play an MMO, I would have a lot of hours into that. But yeah, Destiny is my most played shooter, my most played game of all time, and I recently went back to the first one as well, just because all the Destiny hype and all the talk about this game and just the new trailer and everything. With Age of Triumph coming out as well. I had to get back into that. It's just all the Destiny hype lately has been overwhelmingly positive and exciting. I am very, very excited to see what they do to the game, how they revamp certain things, how they solidify the core of the gameplay that is already there.
So that's something I want to talk about. Because the core gameplay, it's great, right? It's a great shooter. It's got the loot factor to it. It's got the progression factor to it. I always felt like it was missing something, though. It never latched onto me. And the first line of that trailer just opened my eyes to it. Destiny 1, for me, doesn't have a soul. And I mean that not in a funny way, but there's not that deeper, what is this game, and let's have some fun. It is a game that on paper should be great, right? And it is pretty damn good. But there's just that sense that something is missing. And the first line of the gameplay trailer with just that little one-liner crack of, what was it? I think, if you brought me all the way down here and this turns out to be a practical joke, well, I'll be impressed.
Yeah.
Like, right there, that little
That's very true.
of humor was just like, holy shit. That first game just didn't have that soul, didn't have that humor, kind of took itself a little too seriously for me.
It did. And even before the game was released, all the hype was about this game is going to be like a gameplay like you've never seen before, but it was lacking soul and character and story, and that has not changed since then.
Yeah, so that first trailer, oh my god, you said it, like that right there, shivers. I was ready because this, I think, is where they figured it out, where they can really take this brand as really what Destiny has become and elevate it into just this huge game changer as far as, games go. So I loved that trailer, and it opened my eyes to what I thought was missing from that first game.
And I also like what the trailer represents. I mean, if you think about it a bit more, in the trailer, what they're doing is the story is destroying everything that you know about Destiny, right? I mean, they're destroying the tower. They're destroying everything that you know. They're killing off all the characters in the tower almost.
Kidding.
So it's I mean, it could be almost like a metaphor for what they're actually doing. Like, we're stripping it down, we're reinventing it.
Yep.
Although protecting the core of what it is,
And that's exactly
what I'm excited for.
Because they went on and had an interview and said, this is not something that we're not building on Destiny 1. We're redoing the whole thing. We're building from the ground up and making this game what we truly want this game to be. And I just, again, I go back to that first line that just blows my mind with what better way to introduce Destiny 2 than to just give it that little sense of levity, that little sense of humor.
I don't truly believe what they're saying, to be honest, in the sense that we're not building on Destiny 1. I do think that's a sentence that's stretching it a little, because from what I did see from the gameplay is they are bringing back pretty much everything that was in Destiny 1, just restarting from zero with, some new options. Obviously, I'm expecting it to play better. I'm expecting cooler guns and cooler abilities, which do look cooler and everything.
I mean, they got a sword that shoots fireballs, for God's sake.
Exactly. I think a little part of me wanted to see 3 new subclasses. I didn't want necessarily the Titan and the Hunter and the Warlock again. I maybe wanted those 3 plus 3 more, or I wanted 3 different ones with 3 different subclass abilities other than Arc, Void, and Solar. So a little part of me was hoping to see more in that sense. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Hunter, Titan, Warlock principle. I just think that there would have been a lot of room for more there. And that's why I think when they say, well, we're not building on Destiny 1, but then again, they're taking all the same characters and pretty much subclasses from Destiny 1. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure you're not building on Destiny 1? Anyway, so I still need to say more. Obviously, I'm going to be able to say that for myself once I get some hands-on and I actually play a beta. Then we're going to see for ourselves how much it actually resembles Destiny 1. But I think it's undeniable from what we've seen so far that, yes, they did take a lot from Destiny 1.
Day one purchase?
Day one purchase? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I owe it to myself for the amount of time and not just that, the amount of friends that I've met through Destiny, and I got to get to know a lot of members from my community more by playing Destiny with them, because so many people play Destiny.
Right.
And the fact Destiny, I mean, the story itself didn't have much of a soul. What does have soul and what has made that game so much of a success is the overwhelmingly positive and amazing community. The Destiny community is insane. Like, just the streamers, how I think the Destiny streamers have a huge part to play in that. We're talking about Broman and Gothalion and T-Rex and all those guys, if you know who they are.
Shout outs.
Those guys are amazing. Those guys are absolutely amazing. These are the guys that I watch do the raids each time. And the people who go back to their streams, I mean, these are people who play Destiny every day, and they will keep playing Destiny every day. And they respect each other, they support each other. Those guys got so big just by playing Destiny and being faithful to the game and helping support other members and giving other small streamers visibility and ultimately getting a lot of them partnership by, you know, meeting them through Destiny. And it's a very positive community. It's like the opposite of what a Call of Duty community is. It really is. And it's mind-boggling. I still tune into their streams. If it's true, though, they're so positive and they're so friendly. And I think it's just because you have a genuine good group of people just keeping the game afloat. And there's a Guardian Con now that these guys made just for Destiny. I think that's next month. There's so many things for Destiny. It's really pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just so positive, and I feel like I'm a part of that community as well, because I follow these guys, and I look up to these guys. They're good guys to look up to, and they keep the game going. They're very hyped for the game. I think that's where the soul of Destiny lies. It's in its community. Definitely not what Bungie has supported in the community necessarily, but what the community itself, has done, what they have become themselves. You know.
Absolutely. So one of the things that Destiny 2 that actually disappointed me, and I was sad to see, the lack of consistency from console to PC is fairly disappointing.
I was not expecting that.
No, not at all.
Did not see
I was expecting day and date, but because Destiny 2 is actually going to run through Battle.net, or what was formerly Battle.net, now I believe it's just called Blizzard, because they renamed it and redid all that jazz. It has no current release date. It is just currently slated for sometime after the console release. We don't know when that is, but
is it confirmed that it's going to be after? Because I think if you go on like Amazon or something and you select pre-order, PC is listed as September 8th. Obviously that may change and they don't want to not do that, but
I guess I thought it was confirmed. I may be wrong.
I think there's just a lot of speculation at this time.
Okay.
I don't think it's confirmed necessarily. I could be wrong, but I didn't think it was.
Okay, then I mean, if that's the case, then I will totally take it back. But yeah, so if you guys do want some more information on Destiny 2, Game Informer has a ton of info out there. They actually got some hands-on time with the game as well. So go watch the trailer, watch the gameplay, make up your minds on what you see. But I, for one, am pretty psyched about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in terms of upcoming games, I don't know if you have all noticed, but the amount of leaks and stuff coming out and the rumor mills cranking up has got to mean one thing. It's E3 season, baby.
Oh,
and I am so hyped. There is a lot on here that gets me excited, that are games that either I've seen something about and just want to know more of, games that have been rumored but seemingly now have leaked and are slated to show up at E3. But just get a load of this list of games that I'm going to rattle off.
Get your pens and papers, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty World War II, which we spoke on the last podcast, Destiny 2, which we just talked about, Crash Bandicoot Remake, the Insane Trilogy, which rumor has it, boys and girls, is not a forever exclusive to PS4. It may only be a timed exclusive. And how exciting would that be to see Crash on Xbox? Hell yeah, Craigasm.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Combat 7, Tekken X Street Fighter. So they having a crossover there that I'm pretty stoked about. Quake Champions, The Evil Within 2, Marvel vs. Capcom, Cyberpunk, the next entry in CD Projekt Red's little lineage of great games that they've been pumping out lately. Dirt 4, Star Wars Battlefront 2. God knows EA Sports is going to have every game under the sun. Call of Cthulhu, which is a game I've heard very, very little about, but just the title alone sounds fairly interesting. Metal Gear Survive, another game where I was not expecting to hear anything more about ever again. State of Decay 2, Super Mario Odyssey, Bloodborne 2. Again, for those of you Dark Souls fans that didn't know if you were going to be getting any more of that genre since the creator of it said 3 was going to be the last one, well, here's its spiritual successor coming out for its sequel as well. Days Gone, Death Stranding, the game with Norman Reedus in there, with Hideo Kojima creating and making. Detroit Become Human, God of War, Resistance 4, Spider-Man, The Last of Us 2, Uncharted, The Last Legacy, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Assassin's Creed, Beyond Good and Evil. Like, I could go on and on and on. These leaks are coming out like a waterfall. It is insane. What of those catch your eye, Snooze? I know we spoke a little bit on this earlier, but what are your thoughts?
I'll talk a bit as you take a second to breathe.
Yeah, that'd be great.
One thing I noticed just looking at that list when you sent it to me earlier is one thing I noticed from that list is that there's a lot of PS4 in there. That was the first thing that popped to my mind. I heard stuff like Crash Bandicoot, which apparently if it's timed exclusive, that's a different story.
Right.
But I mean, if you talk about Death Stranding, you talked about Uncharted, there's a new game there, The Last of Us. I heard a lot of PS4 only things.
It's true.
There's a lot less Microsoft only things, which could either be concerning or maybe exciting, hoping that they announce most of it after they announce, the Scorpio and stuff about that. I think the Scorpio is what I'm most excited to see and hear more about at E3. I mean, it's more about the console this year than the actual games, because the games that I'm hyped for next year it's a very small list. Like, amongst what I saw on that list, there's very little that I am personally super attracted to. I know a lot of people would look at that entire list and go like, oh my god, there's so much. I remember last year looking at the list of everything coming out and the year before that and going, oh my god, I'm not going to have enough time to play all of this. But on that list, I mean, most of what jumps out at me is going to be Red Dead Redemption 2, maybe Star Wars Battlefront, Destiny 2, obviously. But I mean, if you talk Red Dead Redemption 2 and Destiny 2, I mean, there's 6 months for me. So,
True.
And I mean, South Park Fractured Butthole, I mean, I'm excited for that, but then again, I've been excited for 2 fucking years.
Exactly.
So I don't really give a shit anymore. Yeah, exactly. I don't even believe in that next year date. And I think if anything, there's going to be some boos when they talk about that game at Ubisoft. Because the delays have been a kick in the butthole.
Yeah, probably. 2 more games that I failed to mention, but Warner Brothers coming out with the new Batman. They're currently slated as Batman 2017 right now. And then, as we all know, a game that's been talked about, Middle-earth Shadow of War, a follow-up to Middle-earth.
Yeah, that you could add to my list. Okay. I'm at 7 months now.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, that was another great game, and I hope they jump on that Nemesis system some more. But like you said, that could mean a lot of things, right? So that is a PS4 and Sony heavy list. That could mean someone at Sony just can't keep their mouth shut, right? Like, the leaks are just flooding out. Maybe this is Sony's entire hand, potentially. Maybe Microsoft's just doing a better job of keeping a lid on what they have to offer and unveil. Maybe this is just going to be a lax year for Microsoft, but
and you know that they've been putting most of their energy on the console, right? But then again, new console says hopefully new IPs and new games, and that's what I'm scared that we haven't heard of. We've heard so much about the console, not so much about what we're going to be able to play on the console. And already we know that because of the parody thing with Destiny 2, for example, they got to dumb down our what could be awesome Scorpio version to the PS4 specs.
Right.
Lame.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So, and that's what scares me is, like, if this really is a down year for Microsoft, that's, as a huge Xbox One advocate, how can you unveil a console like Scorpio and not have the software to back it up? So that's why I gotta believe that Microsoft is just doing a good job of holding onto their hand instead of playing it ahead of time.
That's exactly what I was saying. I'm just hoping they're just hiding their playing cards.
Yeah. So I think the haymakers are going to come out at E3, not necessarily get leaked beforehand. Because again, these are leaks and unconfirmed rumors, but these are word on the street, if you will. So maybe someone at Microsoft is just doing a great job of putting together a presentation that's going to surprise the hell out of all of us.
Then honestly, for me, if I'm impressed by this, coming out of E3, if I'm impressed by Red Dead Redemption 2, and I get to see some gameplay on that, and I'm excited about that. If I maybe get a new game announced from Bethesda, I'd be really excited. If I get like a Doom 2 or like a new Elder Scrolls, I'd be really, really happy. That's really what I want.
Well, it was how many years between Oblivion and Skyrim? Was it about 4, right?
I mean, we're getting there.
Yeah, we are.
We're due. If they're not counting Elder Scrolls Online, I'm due for like a Skyrim 2 or something else. I don't know the map well enough to know what region is left, but I'm excited.
I mean, do they do that though? Because they're still publishing for Elder Scrolls Online, and they just released Morrowind, that expansion. So is that something where they just release that and then want to go into another Elder Scrolls game? Like they already kind of have people in the market playing their games. Although I play Elder Scrolls Online. I like it. I'm a hell of a lot more into these standalone single-player Elder Scrolls experiences, so I would love to see that, but I just don't know if they will.
I was super disappointed. I know there's other people in the chat right now. They're very disappointed as well when I saw Morrowind, like, revamp, and then I saw Elder Scrolls Online, and I was like, no! Why?
I'm with you.
Because I haven't played Morrowind, and I feel like the need in me to have experienced that, so I want, like, an HD remaster of Morrowind so that I can play that and have fun playing that. Sorry, I went into Chipmunk Squeaker there for a moment.
Morrowind, I mean, geez, that was a great game. Huge game.
You're just making it worse now.
I know, I'm sorry.
Like pushing the blade and twisting it.
But I mean, what I did notice is Bethesda doesn't have a time slot currently, I believe.
They do.
Oh, they do? Oh.
I looked at the calendar yesterday, I believe, seeing Bethesda on the same day as Microsoft or the day after Microsoft.
Oh, interesting. Then they're doing a great job of just not leaking their hand as well, because I went through and just looked through like all the developers that have games confirmed or leaked or listed or rumored or whatever. But, now that you say that, is The Evil Within 2, is that Bethesda?
That is, I believe, yes.
So
I think so.
Okay, so that might be one of the games that they talk about, but
they have a whole conference, man. They gotta have more.
If they're up there, exactly. There's got to be something coming out.
And ever since Bethesda has had its own time slot, every single time it has been like jaw dropping. Wow, I almost cried when they announced Doom.
We will probably hear more about Fallout in VR, right? Like we have to at this point. They announced it last year with zero follow-up.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It was like a throwaway comment, but he showed, a little bit of, Fallout 4 is going to be in VR. And we haven't really heard anything about it since Todd Howard was on stage talking about it. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to see some follow-up in that.
Yeah.
I don't know how great that'll be. I mean, how do you map Fallout 4 into a VR world where you're confined to one room? I don't know. But if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Bethesda, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't have a Bethesda conference without having something about Fallout in there somehow. And you can't have something about, like, Elder Scrolls either. Elder Scrolls Legend is still in beta, though. Shouldn't we hear more about that as well, the card game? That's still in beta right now. I think I got an invite to play, just never got around to it. Damn.
One game that we haven't talked about that I listed, State of Decay 2. Mm-hmm. Now, if you guys know about me, I would not be in this community right now if it were not for State of Decay, first of all. Would never have found this channel, would never have partnered up with Snooze and made this podcast. So, a lot of State of Decay. Why you're laughing?
Because I hated that game.
I know. I watched you play it a few times and then just kind of stuck around and watched all the other streams, but it is funny.
So funny that's where you met me for the first time, because I streamed that like once or twice and then I was like, fuck this game. Like the mechanics were so frustrating and it was so fetchy and repeatable.
Now, you say that. I love State of Decay. I loved it.
Yay, we disagree.
I thought it was fantastic. It wasn't meant to be this huge, massive AAA release. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe it was a $60 game. I want to say it was only a $30 game. But it is a game that I enjoyed the basic idea of it, the basic mechanics of it. It is resource gathering, team and morale management, and these fetch quests. Yes, while annoying, they still spoke of a foundation to me that I know could be built upon.
Yeah.
And I truly hope that they go balls to the wall crazy with State of Decay 2, because they've already said co-op multiplayer, and holy shit, that's all you need to tell me. I'm in.
See, that's pretty cool, though. The first one didn't have that, did it?
No, not at all. There was no online multiplayer whatsoever. And if you can get co-op multiplayer in that game, I'm already in times 1,000. You just give me base-ass State of Decay with me playing with friends, I'll play it all day.
Yeah, see, that might be different. I remember driving in that game and wanting to, like, punch a baby. I remember wanting to punch a baby, just like, I don't know, moving around, jumping around objects, I'm not too sure, and what's in the melee button on, like, this really weird button, and you couldn't remap it.
I want to say it was, like, B?
It was like RB or some, it was, anyways, it was something really weird. I just remember the whole experience being very frustrating. But hey, I really appreciated it, and I'm really glad that I picked it up, because if not, I would not be having this podcast tonight, apparently.
Yeah.
Hells to the fates.
But yeah, so if they can build on that foundation, I'm in. I'm all in. I cannot wait. That is right now, out of that entire game, and I know there's some heavy hitters on there. Red Dead 2, Destiny 2. State of Decay 2 is my game of E3 right now.
Really?
Right now. That's the game I want to see the most of, because that is the game that I saw the most potential in.
Red
Dead of...
Yeah, more than Red Dead? That's what I was about to say. Like,
Red Dead, we know is going to be amazing. There's nothing to surprise me there. There's no, like, the potential has been hit. Red Dead Redemption is one of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. Period. Bar none.
Yeah.
Destiny 2, we know they're probably going to knock it out of the park because it's Bungie and Blizzard. Like, hello. But State of Decay 2, this developer of, like, 6 guys making this game that I just see so much potential in. I can't wait to see more. What about you? What is your game of E3 right now that is leaked, unconfirmed?
I mean, I need to split the two. Like, I always have one single player and one main single player and one main multiplayer game every time, I'm playing, because it's 2 complete feelings. Like, I could come home from work and want to murder some faces, so I need a multiplayer go-to game, and then I can also just want to, escape and just become this whole other character, in which case I need a single-player game. So that single-player game is going to be Red Dead, and that multiplayer game is going to be Destiny with my buds, with my snoozers. So that's those 2. But like I said, if they announce a Doom 2 or like a new Elder Scrolls, then
there's some potential
we
there.
will have another discussion in the future in June.
Yeah, absolutely. One of these podcasts, is going to be the only topic, E3. Hello.
Yeah, I definitely think we should do like a pre-E3 podcast and a post-E3 podcast.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Just try to see if we can guess, what maybe is coming out, what they're going to have to offer, what our ideas on it. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because we're going to learn a lot more between now and then, right? You're going to have leaked 3 days before E3, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if that's going to be my multiplayer game, State of Decay 2, and now that it has co-op multiplayer, my single-player game then would have to be Middle-earth Shadow of War. Another game that I think was fantastic and a just surprise and delight of a game, because it was a licensed Lord of the Rings game. We all know how licensed games generally fare, period. So for them to take that and build such a great system that so many developers actually copied or made their own with that Nemesis system and having an enemy have a life of its own. And I believe my camera has frozen.
Pause.
Yep, we're
5
back.
seconds. 5-second rule.
But with the enemies that just have a life of their own and can grow beyond multiple encounters with your character, I think that was super cool and something that had never been done before. Kind of an RPG element for the bad guys, right? So that I thought was great. And if they can continue to build upon that, I am really excited for what that game's going to have to offer.
So you did a full playthrough of the first one?
Yes.
Nice, because you don't full play through much, so I'm impressed.
No, yeah. Well, it's not a long game. It was only like, I want to say 15, 16 hours. It wasn't that much. And then I actually went back through and did a dominate playthrough. I didn't actually kill the main boss. I just dominated a full row of baddies and worked their way up to being captains and war chiefs. And then they just eventually eliminated the boss on their own. It was great.
Nice.
There's a YouTube video out there where I believe it was like one strike and you just saw this chain reaction of the entire game being beaten in the Nemesis system. It was awesome. So I wanted to do something like that as well. Mm-hmm. If I can find the link, I'll post it in the Discord because I thought that was such a cool way of completing a game that you never think of being able to be beaten like that.
That is pretty cool. I still need to play the game. I started playing it. I have maybe 2 or 3 hours in the game, and then I stopped because I think just another game came out. But I do intend on going back to it because I own the game and I bought the whole season pass when it was on sale.
Oh, nice.
So I
did not get the season pass.
I have like the full game that I'm going to be able to play. I just backlog. That's backlog reasons. Honestly, next year...
Backlog be like...
Yeah, exactly. Next year I'm almost more excited to catch up on my backlog than to play new games that are going to come out. There's still so many games in my backlog that I'm excited to play and finish.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
More than what's coming almost.
The problem is, they're never going to stop making good games. So that backlog's just always going to be there. Always going to be waiting for you.
Maybe I'm going to hope that they announce garbage and really crappy, shitty things at E3. No, I take that back. I don't hope that on any gamer ever.
Right, absolutely.
Take it all back.
So speaking of backlog, there is a huge sale for all you Xbox One players out there right now. The Xbox backwards compatibility sale. It's going on for only 3 more days. Today, Sunday, and Monday. Now through May 22nd. There's over 300 backwards compatible titles on sale. Some as low as $2.
Amazing.
$2.50.
Yeah.
And these are incredible games. So, again, I have a small list of things that I want to go over, but I've kind of put together some of my favorites on this list.
Go for it.
Or deals that I think are just really great that if you guys haven't played and you have the chance, go spend $5 and get a great game.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to be doing when we get off of this podcast. Because just going through that list, I was like, check, check. All right, how much I got in my wallet? Okay, check. We're good. We're good here. So nice. Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, they're only $5 each. You're talking 200 hours of gameplay. Great games, some of my personal favorites. $5 for these games. Fantastic. Assassin's Creed 2, in my opinion, the best in the series, $6.50. Battlefield Bad Company 2, a great Battlefield game for only $5.
That I might pick up.
Yeah, Bad Company 2 is a hell of a Battlefield game.
Is the story good? I presume so, because I've heard so many good things about it. Okay.
Campaign's great.
Cool. Yep. It would be for the campaign that I'd pick it up.
Yep. It's like it played well. I don't know what the multiplayer scene looks like now, obviously, because it's a 360 game and God knows if the support's still there, but the campaign is great and it played really well. Each BioShock game, BioShock 1, BioShock 2, and BioShock Infinite, only $10 each. Now, you may argue that BioShock 2 may not be worth it, and I won't fault you for that argument at all. But BioShock 1 is probably in my top 5 of all-time games.
It is for a lot of people.
Love that game. Absolutely love. So would you kindly go out and purchase that game for $10? Please. Borderlands 1 and 2, $10 each. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, only $2.50. It's a remake of the classic Castlevania. It's a great little arcade game. I can't say little because it's so like belittling to the game itself. It's such a great game. For only $2.50, holy crap, go get it.
I picked up Braid for $2. I have never played Braid. And I've heard
good things, but I've never played it or know what it's about, so I didn't actually put it on my list. But yeah, $2 for Braid as well.
Yeah, if anything, I'm going to be picking up a lot of indie games in there that I've been meaning to play, but I never got around to. So
like
there's a
Limbo
lot of indie games.
$3.
Limbo's a great game.
Yeah, Limbo's phenomenal.
Because there's a lot of indie games in there, like, if you're, again, the backlog seems to be a big issue lately. But indie games aren't very long to play. I mean, typically, you got maybe 10, 15 hours if it's a story-driven indie game. So for $2-3, I mean, you can give yourself like a really good week's entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that Braid is going to be fun and probably fun to stream as well.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Dead Space, all of the Dead Space games are only $5 to $7 each.
Ooh,
so
that reminds me, I need to pick up the third one.
Yep. You guys all saw how much fun we had watching Snooze get her shit scared out of her.
Oh, man. I don't like scary games typically, but Dead Space was just something else. It was such great games. Like, big shout out to Surge for buying them for me and twisting my arm to play a scary game and stream it, because for one, like, so much quality stream, and I really loved that series so far. I honestly really like the series.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fable 2, the best of the series in my opinion, only $5. All of the Gears of War games, only $4 to $5 each. So I know, Snooze, you're not a personal fan, but, you know, for $4 or $5, if you guys haven't played Gears, go make your own opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but I've tried it, you know? But
yeah,
if
exactly.
at that price, hell yeah, try it.
Right,
Damn.
exactly. Grand Theft Auto 4, only $10. Great game. Hundreds of hours of gameplay for only $10. It's one of the more expensive ones I put on there, but for $10, hell yeah.
Yeah.
We already mentioned Limbo. The original Mass Effect, only $5. Elder Scrolls Oblivion, only $5.
Yeah, for all the by the way, for all the Dragon Age, I believe for Dead Space, I'm not sure about Dead Space anymore, and Mass Effect, you guys can get those with EA Access for free. So if those are the ones you want to pick up if you have EA Access, just go look in the vault first.
Well,
even though it's a small amount of money.
Got to have that subscription. Got to pay for that subscription.
I know, yeah, but a lot of people already have it. So, like, don't go buy
true.
a $5 game when you're already paying $5 a month for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Portal 1 and Portal 2, only $4 a piece. Amazing puzzle games.
I've never played Portal. I know. Oh, I can.
You have 3 days to buy Portal.
I can feel the tomatoes being flown at me right now. It's like, douche, I'm dodging.
My heart hurts because you have not played Portal yet.
Yeah, I know. I just told the internet I've never played Portal, and I call myself a gamer, air quotes.
Oh, I don't know about going that far, but please play Portal. It will be so much fun. Those puzzles are so fun to figure out.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I've been meaning to play it. I have. I was thinking of playing it for Extra Life or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a great game. Absolutely. Red Dead Redemption, $12. Skate 3, $5. South Park: The Stick of Truth, $8. And Trials HD, if you guys are familiar with those Trials games, you're controlling a bike trying to get through these crazy-ass adventures or scenes or whatever you want to call them, trying to get from start to finish, getting over all these obstacles and stuff. It's a great, almost puzzle platformer in itself, only $2.50. So go out there and get that as well.
Yeah.
Some of my favorites on that list. So that's what I put together, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it and get some joy for really not a big hit on your wallet.
Yeah. I want to mention as well, Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is also on that list, and Black Ops 2 is on the top 10 best-selling games of April.
Yes.
Think about that for a second. How long has this game been out? 5 years?
Yeah, it was maybe longer. I want to say 2010, 2011.
And it was in the top 10 bestsellers of April, alongside like Zelda Breath of the Wild and all those goody releases around that time frame. Just saying. That just goes to show how much people are desperate for a good Call of Duty game nowadays.
Yes. It is one of the best Call of Duties in my opinion. It's a little heftier in price for being an older game. It's $20, I believe, for Black Ops 2 on there.
And it shouldn't be any lower because Black Ops 2 is a great game.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, had a good campaign too.
It did.
One of the few
Absolutely
in recent years.
So a lot of great deals, a lot of great games. Yet another play of the game by Onyx, Snooze a lot.
Who's bringing valid points to the table and kicking ass, guys.
There you go.
Brutus is doing most of the work, that's why.
Most of the work not in this Overwatch game.
In
that's
the podcast,
that
is what counts. Very impressive, my friend.
So that's really all I wanted to talk about today. Wanted to go through all of that with you guys. Hope you guys got some joy out of what we brought to the table, and not only the game, but in the information we're bringing too for you. So as always, if you guys have questions or anything like that, I'd love to start a little segment where we can answer some questions on stream. So if you want to shoot those to either of our Discord DMs, I would love to start that. As well, I want a special shout out, and I'm going to embarrass him. Max, it's your birthday tomorrow. So everybody, please go out there and wish Max a happy birthday tomorrow. Happy early birthday, buddy.
There you go. That's why we're not doing this on Sunday, because normally we record this on Sunday.
Yes.
So yeah.
But guys, that's it for us. We are the Good Game Geeks podcast. Again, I'm your host, Brutus, with my kick-ass co-host, Snooze. I don't know where she is on the screen. We're just going to point.
Doesn't matter. The point is that you said kick ass and I kicked ass.
She did.
That was the point.
She absolutely did.
That was the point, guys.
So that's all for tonight, guys. Through it all, technical difficulties and the like, you guys always rock, tune in, and have a good time, and we appreciate you. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, guys.